Hey everybody, welcome to Hilltop Machine Works. So I am not sure where fall went, but it is a cold, rainy November. It's going to be like this all week. And thanks to daylight savings time, it's only like 4:45. Oh, yuck. So it looks like we're not going to get outside today to work on the surface grinder, at least get it cleaned up. I was hoping the weather would hold off. So it looks like what we'll do is I'll go ahead and work on the casters, get these knocked out. Not really worth filming. I'm just going to grind the welds off, get these old casters off, and I'll get the new ones on. So get something done in this ugly weather. Well, hey everybody, we're back at this Boyar Schultz cleanup. As you can see, excuse me, a little bit nasally today. The season's changing, but it is another ugly fall day, and I am dodging raindrops, so trying to get some cleaning, and when it starts raining I gotta get it back in and back and forth. But as you can see, I am just going at it with some grease lightning, and I got some good old Dawn in there, and I am just cleaning away. Doesn't look too bad. The original paint finish looks actually pretty good, so I'm pleased with that. So I'm thinking not even waste my time repainting it. If it comes out looking pretty good with a little bit of a, you know, a weathered, been around the block look, I think that'll suffice, and we won't have to spend any time, golly, excuse me, painting it. So I'm not going to bore you guys with degreasing and getting about 60 years of muck off of this thing. So I am going to knock this thing out because it stopped raining right quick, and I'll bring you guys back when I make some progress. So hang on. Alright guys, I'm going to go handheld here. Just finished cleaning the cabinet. Hopefully you can see it fairly well. It's dark outside, so I had to come in. I think it came out pretty nice. The paint, excuse me, the original paint still looks pretty good. I like the patina, so I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to keep it that way. And I am going to, since the paint is come off on the top, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with a steel it paint, and that way it'll protect it. It's got steel fragments embedded in it, and while I'm doing that, I think I'm going to go ahead and shoot the cart here that I made. Got the wheels welded on, ready to go. That way just kind of protect it, keep it from rusting. So that's the progress today. Also got the door cleaned. Get it over here, get it back in the light. So I got the door cleaned up, and got the tray cleaned up, and also got the, I don't know if you can see it over there, but the chute, got that cleaned up. And basically ran out of time and started raining and it got dark on me. So little progress report. Let me get this thing taped up and get it sprayed. Oh, hey guys, figured I'd give you an update. It's another cold and rainy day. It's been like this all week, so I actually had to pull out the kerosene heater. It's like 36 degrees today in the middle of November. Got a little bit of heat going here, and trying to make a little progress on the surface grinder. I did get the top painted. As you can see, it's dry. Got the frame for it to roll on, and I just finished. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. Got it all vacuumed out. Looks good. It's about as clean as I'm going to get it. So the back of that motor looks good. Made sure they all the dust and debris that I could get, I got. So hopefully that motor will last for the rest of my lifetime. And let me spin her around. Since I couldn't get it totally apart, get that back off. I just vacuumed down in there and scraped it and cleaned it the best I could. I think we'll be okay, since this is only going to see occasional work. So now what I got to do is I'm going to start cleaning the internal stuff. The screens and the brushes and all that, and we'll start getting the collector back together, and then we can start on the surface grinder itself. So just a quick update. So it's on to cleaning the table. As you can see, she's pretty filthy. So got a lot of grinding dust to clean up. Otherwise, I guess she's alright. We'll flip her over here once I get all this crud and 20-30 years of grinding dust and grime and gook off of it, and we'll take a look. One of the dust covers has seen its better days. It's crashed into something. No biggie. So just a quick little update, and let me get cleaning. So got the top of the table all cleaned up. It looks about what I expected. Not super clean. I just got all the grit and grime off of it that I could. I am got to do a thorough cleaning here in a little bit, but I figured I'd flip it over and take a look at the underside. And it looks about what I expected too. Guess the good thing is it does have a little bit of oil and looks like some old grease. So it was getting some sort of lubrication. Bad news is, let me zoom in here a little bit. You can see how thin these teeth are in the middle of the rack. So obviously this is probably the center of it, which is going back and forth here and there, versus see how thick, let me get this off with a screwdriver, how thick the teeth are, which is, these teeth have never seen any probably contact. So that's what they should look like, and how thin and narrow they get. And then they get back to their original factory cut size. So it looks like we're gonna have to be cutting us a rack. Add that to the list of things. So let me start cleaning this thing up, and we'll take a look better at the ways. So the rack is off, and hopefully you can see this pretty good. See the excessive wear there in the middle. That's probably where the majority of the work has been done, versus how nice the teeth are on the outside. And checking my Boston gear gauges, looks like we are 16 diametral pitch with a 14.5 degree pressure angle. And you can see how much wears here in the middle. If I can hold this right, how much room we got and how skinny the top of these teeth are. So too bad I can't call it Boyar Schultz and order one of these. There's my number, right? And I wonder if that means March, maybe 1953. I don't know. Anyway, so update on that, and then of course the bottom looks pretty good. Let me go handheld. Hopefully you guys can see this. I hope there's enough light. A little bit of chowdering right there. Got a nick there in the top where some grit or some grinding stuff got underneath it and did its damage. It's got some grooves, some really bad grooves on the end, on this side here. I mean, can you hear that? I'm running my fingernail across it. So pretty rough, especially right up in here. So this poor girl's had a hard life. Ain't gonna be doing much precision grinding on this probably, but for some occasional shop use, I think she'll be okay. So see if we can bring her back to life. So that's the update, and gotta get to some more cleaning. Well, hey guys, I figured I'd give you an update. I am handheld, so maybe a tad bit shaky. But got the table all cleaned, degreased, all the grime and grinding dust and everything off of it. Kind of neat. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's the serial number. Table actually got the serial number. Huh. So I went ahead and sprayed it with the stainless steel paint, try to protect it, and then I just shot some Bow Shield on the V-ways and the flat way underneath it so it wouldn't rust till we can get it back together. So slowly but surely, now I got to go ahead and start working on this baby. I'm gonna go ahead and get the this table off here. I don't know if you call that a carriage or not, but she's looking gross, ain't she? But I'm just pecking away, so I figured I'd give you guys, like I said, an update. And I know you guys don't want to watch me scrubbing and cleaning, so I just make some progress and then come back and give you a progress report. So hang with me. So a little bit of good news here. You can see I got the hose off from the base to this I guess carriage here, and I've got oil dripping out. So at least it was getting lubricated, and that means the Boyar automatic oiler is working, so that is a plus. I just pulled this gear out of here, and let me get into the light, and you can see how thin those teeth are. So definitely worn out. To figure out how to get this gear off, because it moves a little bit. I don't see a set screw on there. I've been looking. I don't know if it's pressed on or not, but we'll have to cut a new gear because this one is definitely shot. So those long T-handled Allen wrenches that I got from Snap-on, perfect job right here. As you can see, got a nice long reach. The cheap Harbor Freight ones, I can't get in there. So yay for Snap-on. So I got the lead screw finally figured out and got it removed. And let's see, I'm going handheld. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's what the threads should look like, and then look how thin they get. They're like razor sharp. So looks like we're going to have to procure another lead screw. Don't know if I can get one. This is left-handed. I'm not sure what size it is. It's almost maybe 3/4, or we'll have to turn one, because you see I found a hole on the end, so it looks like it was probably single pointed on the lathe. So the more I get into it, the more I find this poor old girl just about wore out. Glad I didn't pay too much for it. So I've got the carriage off here, and just thought I'd show you something interesting. Here's how you account for wear. So here's the Gibbs here. Sorry, I'm handheld. And as you got wear, you see that these are at an angle. Oh man, it's got a good lip on that. Ouch. This one sits in here, and there is the adjuster screw right there. So it'll move in, or you can move it out. You've got this little groove here, which it catches in, and it moves it in and out. And hold on, GoPro's getting ready to die. Okay, we're back. And these flatways feel pretty good, so that is a plus. And moving over here, change the lighting a little bit. Hold on. This is the underneath, and These feel pretty good also, so that is good. You can kind of see the under workings here. If you remember, the Boyar oiler comes in here, and there was a hose that connected to the side here, and then the oil comes in and lubricates these two V-ways and then that flat wave. And here is the lead screw nut. I'll have to check that, see how worn that is. But thought I'd give you guys a quick look at what's going on the underneath. So let me get to cleaning. Okay, I'm going handheld again. Got this piece off here, which holds basically the brass nut, I think, or bronze, for the lead screw. And as you can see, it's got grooves cut in it for oiling, but as gooped up as this is, it looks like actually somebody greased this instead of used oil. Whey oil. I don't think this is old whey oil with grinding grit the way it looks. So unfortunately, as you can see, let me get this thing, hang on, let me put you down 1 second. Get this thing cleaned off. You can see the stuff coming out of this hole. I mean, look at that. I mean, come on, really? So, yeah, it had lubrication, but it didn't have the right lubrication. So, anyways, thought I'd show you that, guys, and then turn this around, and hopefully, I don't know how the light's gonna be. We'll take a look at those threads here, see what we're dealing with. I'm gonna figure out how to take this thing off. So, just thought I'd give you guys a quick update. So I got you guys over here at the workbench. Figured I'd bring you up to speed on the lead screw and the, guess you'd call this the threaded nut that's actually fixed to the bottom of the carriage. So it's got a decent amount of wear. Got a couple options here I'm debating. One is we can make a whole new one of these. I've got a nice big hunk of bronze that's just a tad bit bigger than the maximum OD right here on this shoulder. But what I'm leaning towards is would be to bore this out and you know, leave enough so it's still somewhat strong here. This is the narrowest or the smallest OD. These two pieces right here, it's thicker in the main body. And then what we can do is to take this and we can turn it down, do a press fit, and basically put a plug in there and then drill it out to the threading diameter and rethread it, so we don't have to spend a lot of time making this whole part. Since we got so much going on with the surface grinder, I'm trying to speed stuff up, making it easy as possible so we can get this thing back together. Because actually yesterday I just had a customer contact me, a new customer actually, about making some parts. So, you know, if work starts rolling in, I hate to have this surface grinder all in pieces everywhere and then have this project drag out. So that may be the route we're going to go for this piece. And then on this lead screw here, debating back and forth what's the easiest way to repair this. I picked up a piece of threaded rod from McMaster Car, and also picked up a piece of 1144 stress proof, 3/4 of an inch, in case I decide to cut threads and we make a whole new lead screw, or you know, use this threaded rod to save us some operations, and then all we'd have to do basically is turn this part down here. So hopefully we're still in frame. Turn this part down here and get the bearing and, you know, get all this stuff done.
different diameters here in these different parts of the shaft. So that's kind of what I was leaning towards, but what I find interesting is the top of these threads, hopefully you can see, are actually flat. So it's kind of like an Acme thread, but you know, this is 10 threads per inch, and Acme is 6 threads per inch. As you can see, totally different size. And going through my machinery's handbook, there is no type of Acme thread that is, you know, 10 threads per inch. So find this curious, what's going on here. And it's also the same here, where there was no wear. So that's, looks like that's what it was originally cut. I don't know, you know, they did it for strength, and this is a you know, a specially cut item. You know, they used a special form tool for it. You know, I don't know. First time I've run across this animal, because this nut will not go on, obviously, because it's looking for a 60-degree peak, and these are not. But let me show you how much wear we had here. Get this thing on. Get it to the middle part there where it was doing all the work. You can see why we had that like 45 thou backlash. Look at this. A lot of movement. So a lot of wear. Now this does screw on to my threaded rod I got from McMaster Car. And I don't know if that's just because of the wear inside here, or just because, you know, its tolerances are looser because it's because of the pitch there at the top there, should say the peak. So screwing on here, she goes on, and she's actually fairly snug. If you notice, I don't have any really back and forth movement. You can wiggle her around this way. So I don't know, leave comments down there below, see what you guys think. What was the best order of operations? What would you do in this case? You know, if there's enough meat in the threads in this, whether we just go with it and use this piece of threaded rod, and then we'll just turn down, you know, an end here. So so we're good here in this part where the bearing goes, and then obviously the crank handle and the body of the crank handle rides in there, because there's a bearing there. It's a journal. So I figured I'd give you guys an update on that. I figured this is a good place to stop. Part 2. I appreciate you guys watching and following along with the channel. I want to say, hey, thanks to all my new subscribers for finding the channel and hitting that subscribe button. So anyways, that is a wrap for part 2, and obviously we got several more parts coming. So thanks for following along, guys, and we'll see you later.